All right, guys, I've done it. I finally finished the Vic Mignogna deposition. I can finally move on to other subjects. Oh, never mind.
Have you ever stated to anyone that you, in the last 10 years, that you hired prostitutes or escorts?
I have.
And who would you have said that to?
Oh, I don't remember who I said it to. I thought you were asking me if I ever have.
Well, that would have been the follow-up question.
Oh, sorry.
So the follow-up question is, have you ever hired prostitutes or escorts?
I did once, yes.
And when was that?
Probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Would that have been while you were engaged in the spec?
That would have been before.
So never during your engagement with her did you hire any prostitutes? The behavior that we've been going over, is that consistent with your Christian faith?
No. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Have you ever made any mistakes with girls under 17 years old?
No, sir.
Have you ever invited any girls up to your room that were under 17?
No, sir.
Have you ever invited any girls up to your room that looked like they might be under 17?
No, sir.
Okay, so for purposes of the record, however we're handling it, I'm going to shift now to the Monica Rial allegation. So we discussed the first two allegations, the incidents. What did Ms. Dimbo tell you was the issue with regard to Mrs. Rial?
She said, do you recall being at an event with Monica, at a convention event, and eating a jelly bean that she had signed and saying, now I can't, well, Monica said, why would you eat that? You know, you're going to get ink poisoning. And I, off the cuff, made a joke that, well, now I can say I ate Monica Rial.
And that was the only thing that Ms. Dimbo communicated to you?
Yes, sir.
Did you think that was kind of silly?
Yes, sir.
And did you tell Mrs. Dimbo that you didn't mean anything by the jelly bean comment?
Yes, it was clearly a joke, and it happened in public in front of plenty of people. It was, dare I say, kind of like a show. You know, I mean, they're fans and they're all laughing and thought it was funny.
And you understand that Mrs. Rial has accused you of a far more serious incident than
I understand now.
But that was not relayed to you by Ms. Dimbo?
No, sir.
Why not?
Did you have any more conversations with Ms. Dimbo after that initial conversation on January 25th?
I'm sorry, would you repeat the question?
Did you have any more conversations with Ms. Dimbo after January 25th?
I don't remember if it was her, but at the end of that conversation, the first one, she said that they would be in touch with me. And I don't remember how much time went by. I don't think it was more than a couple of days. And they called me, and there was more than one person on the line. And they said, we've reviewed the situation, and you're being terminated from Funimation immediately.
That came as a shock to you?
Yes, very much so.
Did they say anything about why? Other than they reviewed the situation?
No, I was a bit dumbfounded.
And so there was no, we believe them, we don't believe you, nothing like that?
No.
Now, did you, was it anything other than you're terminated and that's it? Was that not the phone call in? Did you ask them why?
Bear with me, Sean. It was rather a blow.
Sure.
And I think I said, I've worked for you for 20 years. I can't believe, based on what you asked me about, that this is an appropriate action. And I don't remember them saying much of anything in response. And they're like, all right, bye. I mean, I was a bit dumbfounded.
Right.
You feel like you've been hit by a truck.
Now, did you talk to anybody at Funimation after this termination? Have you talked to anybody about it?
Let me think. No.
And so, as far as you know, the basis for the termination was the 3 incidences that they
That's
raised.
all I was told about.
Now, you would agree with me that Ms. Dimbo did tell you not to reach out to any of the individuals that had talked to them, correct?
Yes.
And did you reach out to any of them after the fact?
Yes, I was terminated. Why in the world? Why wouldn't I? Especially a woman that thought I was friends with for 20 years. And in fact, all I reached out to do was to apologize and ask her what it was that I did.
Object is non-responsive after yes. Did you reach out to the twins?
Nope.
Did you reach out to?
No.
Let's make sure we take care of that. Okay. And you sent an email to Mrs. Real, correct?
Yes.
Did she ever respond?
No.
Did you text or try and call her?
No.
When was the first time you would say that you understood that Mrs. Real was raising the issue of some kind of what she considered to be assault in one of your hotel room? When did you first?
You mean the assertion from 11 years ago?
Yes.
The first time I'm sure you have all reviewed the tweets and stuff. The first week or two, Monica made several very vague references online. I have a story, it happened to me, and people would ask, and she wasn't really very specific for a week or two, I can't remember. And it was during that period that I emailed her and said, I've considered you a dear friend for 20 years. I'm so sorry. If I ever did anything to offend you, please tell me what it was. I didn't hear back from her. And then a short time after that was when she actually published publicly her account.
And what is your understanding of what her recollection of that event in your hotel room was?
I'm sorry?
No, let me do that. I'll do that later. Now, did you talk to this termination with Miss Hansel after it occurred?
Sure.
And does she have any advice for you?
Not that I recall.
Do you know if Miss Hansel has any relationship with the Kiwi Farms that we looked at in Exhibit 10?
No, not to my knowledge at all.
And do you know if Miss Hansel has a YouTube channel?
No.
You don't know?
I don't think she does, but I don't know for sure.
And certainly if she did, you wouldn't know anything about her commenting about this litigation
No, absolutely
on that
not.
YouTube channel. We've talked about Rooster Teeth. We've talked about Funimation. Have you ever been investigated for your behavior at any other company or business that you ever worked for?
Not to my knowledge.
Hashtag Kiwi Farms. He doxed Kiwi Farms. Rude. Very rude, Lemoyne, to dox the Kiwi
I'm going to hand you a
Farms.
binder that I've pre-tabbed with Exhibits 1 through 9.
Okay.
Right now, Exhibits 1 through 8 are in there, and I'll give you Exhibit 9 when we get to it.
Okay.
give your attorney exhibits 1 through 8 as well. You talked earlier in the deposition about kind of this firestorm that kicked off about the same time that Dragon Ball came out. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You turned to Exhibit 1. I'll represent to you that Exhibit 1 is a tweet that I pulled off of the internet from a person who uses a Twitter handle at actually Amelia. Do you recognize this tweet?
I'm sorry, say that again, please. I was reading it, I'm sorry.
All I'm saying, I'm going to represent you. I pulled this off of the internet. And it's a tweet I understand that may have kicked off this firestorm about you. You with me so far?
Okay.
Now, looking at Exhibit 1, is this the tweet, or do you know?
I don't know.
Do you recall looking at the tweet back in January of 2019? Did you know it came when it came out?
The only tweet that I remember was one that said, sorry to bring this up on the day the Broly movie is being premiered, but I think it's time that Funimation stop casting Vic Mignogna for his misconduct, I think was the word they used.
Right.
And shortly after that, they started the hashtag, and like I said, it just kind of picked up steam.
Right. And was the tweet on somebody's Twitter that you were following, or is that something
No,
somebody
no, sir.
told you?
Just somebody. There are lots of people out there.
Right. And so after that, would you agree that it kind of became, it went viral?
I suppose, yeah.
No. Do you know why it went viral? I mean, is there something about anything that you've done over the past 20 years in the voice acting community that would lend credence to people thinking that maybe you were a sexual assaulter?
No. There are an awful lot of fans out there who are really desperate for attention. And they often like to talk about people to get it.
And so your theory is that they make up stories about you sexually assaulting them to get attention?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it be better to say I had sex with Vic to get attention as opposed to say Vic assaulted me?
Oh, I'm sure, give it time, or if you haven't seen it, I'm sure somebody out there would say that.
And that may or may not be true, right? You have had sex with...
Consensually, yes.
In fact, you've had sex with so many people consensually, you're not sure what the number is. And when I say people, I'm talking about people at these conventions, right?
No.
Do you know the number?
No. But it's not all at conventions is my point. I don't do that very much at conventions.
Where do you reserve that behavior for?
Where I choose.
There it is.
At the bottom of Exhibit 1. I believe this is the first reply ever to this Amelia tweet. And she says, I've heard hundreds of stories about what a creep he is, and I'm always floored he still gets invites. Would you agree with me that that is defamatory?
Sure.
Right. And you, whatever definition you have of defamation, you would say that's defamatory.
Sure.
Okay. Do you have any evidence, any proof, any even indication that any of the defendants had anything to do with someone putting a tweet out about you in January 16, 2019?
I do not know.
And do you blame them for this tweet going out?
I have no reason to.
Okay. And you would agree with me that this tweet going out harmed your reputation?
Not necessarily. Not at first. It was a cumulative thing.
Kind of a death by 1,000 cuts. You ever heard that phrase?
I have. Yeah, that's probably a good example.
All right, let's turn to Exhibit 2. Are you familiar with an online magazine called Polygon?
I wasn't until this came out.
Polygon
Are you
BTFO.
familiar with the Polygon article written on January 25th, 2019, titled Dragon Ball Super Brawly Voice Actor Responds to Sexual Harassment and Homophobia Claims. Mm-hmm. You've read it before?
I probably did, yes.
All right. And when you read it, did you read it and think there's a whole bunch of things in here that are false?
Yes.
And when you read it, you thought there was a whole bunch of things in here that are defamatory?
Yes.
Have you sued Petrana Regilovic?
Not yet.
Do you recall if...
Great answer.
I'm going to say Mrs., but I could be wrong. Regilovic, did she reach out to you to speak on this particular article?
I don't
remember. All right. Would you agree with me? Well, did anybody email a link to this article to you and say this happened, or how did you?
Well, again, your friends tell you things that are going on, and friends of mine told me that this had been released.
Right. Would you agree with me that this article being released on the internet hurt your reputation?
Sure.
Do you blame any of the defendants for the release of this article?
I can't answer that. I mean, I don't know. At this point in time, I don't know whether any of them had anything to do with this article or not.
Okay. If you return to page 3
Yes, sir.
of Exhibit 2, you flipped over to Exhibit 3.
Oh, did I go too far?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to Exhibit 3 instead of page 3.
All right, so in page 2. Oh, well, I'm sorry, it should be page 3.
Okay.
So Exhibit 2, page 3. You with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The last sentence on page 3 reads, Mignogna said he will stop his physical interaction with fans as a result. Is that a statement that you made?
Yes. No, actually, no. The statement that I made was I intend to alter my interactions with fans moving forward.
Okay. And have you done that?
Yes, I have.
And do you still hug and kiss your fans?
No.
Do you hug them at all?
They hug me occasionally, and it was funny because as this has been happening in the events that I've attended since then, I have never hugged anyone or asked them to hug me, but if a fan who is clearly an adult says, "Can I give you a hug?" I will look at my handler, who is right here, arm's length away, witnessing everything, and say, "Did you hear that she requested a hug?" And I will usually do kind of one hand thing.
And do you restrict that to adults?
Yes.
Meaning you don't hug children anymore?
No.
You don't kiss on children anymore?
No.
Do you agree with me? That's kind of creepy, right?
No.
Not creepy?
Not when they ask you.
I mean, is there an age limit in which a child can ask you to kiss and hug on them and you say that's creepy?
See, when you say kiss, it sounds like something sexual. But somebody who is kissing a child on the forehead or the cheek as a symbol of kindness or appreciation is not meant in any sexual way.
Besides yourself, do you know any 50-year-old men that kiss children on the cheek or forehead that aren't their children?
I'm sure there are many.
I'm just asking if you know one.
No, I never thought to need to keep a record of that. I don't.
All right, turn to page 4. Second full paragraph, last sentence. It starts, organizers at conventions. You with me?
Joe Biden.
Sorry. Yes, sir, go ahead.
All right. Organizers at conventions, meanwhile, shared stories of unprofessional behavior, such as overstaying his panel time and yelling at staffers. Any truth to that?
Occasionally.
And when you say occasionally, that happened every convention, every other convention?
No, occasionally. Not every time.
Not a pattern of...
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't think I would be invited to 40 events, 30 or 40 or however many events that I've been invited to over the years if that was a regular pattern. There are exceptions to that when you interact with people or you discuss expectations leading up to an event and the expectations are not met and it causes problems. It can be frustrating. I have also apologized to conventions and organizers for getting frustrated.
Okay. What is Discord?
I don't know.
I've never heard of
I
Discord.
think it's an online thing.
Is it not, is it like some kind of app or something?
I don't know.
All right. Look at the third paragraph on page 4.
Mm-hmm. Wait, page. Okay, go ahead.
Right. The second sentence in the third paragraph says, leaked screenshots reveal that Mignogna took to Discord for his private fan club, the Risen Bull Rangers, last Saturday to encourage his fans to counter the accusations. The hashtag I stand with Vic rose in response. So my first question is, do you recall getting on some kind of online chat with your
I did
private fan club?
I did a group chat. Yes.
And that was prior to releasing your tweet about the allegations? What, can you follow me?
Which tweet?
Fair point. So, let's see if I got the timeline right. You tell me. My understanding is that there was a tweet on January 16th, 2019, when Dragon Ball Broly was released.
Yes, sir.
That's the tweet that's kind of erupted about you, correct?
I assume so.
Right. You issued a tweet on January 20th, 2019, basically apologizing for offending anybody and defending yourself.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound right?
Well, apologizing.
Okay.
I don't remember defending myself or anything. I apologized for any unintended offense.
Right. And then, but prior to issuing that tweet, you went online somehow with your online fan club to talk to them about what was going on. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you were trying to do was rally the troops to defend you online. Do you agree with that?
No, sir.
Well, why not? What's wrong with that? Why shouldn't you get on the...
No, what I did was, if I may be clear, what I did was I encouraged them to speak of their positive experiences, because there were people online throwing a bunch of negative experiences around, and I felt pretty confident there were a lot more positive experiences than there were negative ones, and I encouraged people that had positive experiences to speak up and be heard.
Right. You went and rallied your troops.
I encouraged them to speak positively. I don't have troops any more than the people against me rally people against me.
How many people are in your fan club that you spoke to?
I don't know the exact number. I don't know the exact number, actually.
Would you agree with me that after you had this chat, private chat with your fan club, that the hashtag I stand with Vic arose?
I have no idea when that started or who started it.
Okay. I'm going to show you what I pre-marked as Exhibit 26.
I actually was troubled when that hashtag was started, because I just wanted it to die down, and I felt like that was just going to exacerbate it, but there wasn't really anything I had any control over.
Okay. I'll make a representation to you about Exhibit 26, that this is pulled off of the Risen Bull Rangers fan club page. You familiar with it? And what the first screen is, I've done some blow-ups.
Okay.
So we could see some of the language that you used. And then pages 2 and 3 are the actual screenshots, just so somebody could check my homework. You mean so far?
Okay.
All right, so February 19, 2019, before you issue a public tweet, you are tweeting, you are communicating in your fan club group, right?
Yes, sir.
And that group consists of people that like anime.
Sure.
And a lot of young women in that group.
All different ages and genders.
Okay. And one of the things that you wanted to make sure that they did was to do just whatever they could do to counter any negative communications out there about you, right?
Just to speak their own positive experiences.
I mean, not just speak their own positive experiences. You want them to do whatever they could do.
No, sir.
I mean, go online, start a petition.
No, sir.
Dox people.
No, sir.
None of that. You didn't want that.
No, sir.
Wow. Why do this?
Why do what?
Why go online and have your fan base try and rally the troops?
Objection form.
Right about this, I'll just use your language. Why go online and say, do whatever you can do to counter all these lies and negativity? Why did you do that?
Because my reputation and work was under attack.
Okay. Now, as of January 19, 2019, the attacks on you were what? Or what did you understand them to be? What did you understand the attacks on your reputation and your work? What did you think they were?
I'm sorry.
Maybe I'm doing a good job.
What did I?
Was it that you were homophobic, that you were racist, that you were a predator? What was it that you were trying to get your fan base to counter?
The negativity in general.
All right. Any of your fans text or email or back channel you in some way telling you what they were doing to counter these negative lies and negativity?
I don't recall that any of that happened.
Have you ever used this tactic in the past where you encourage your fan base to go and counter people that were speaking negatively about you?
Not that I recall.
Okay, so this is kind of a first-time event, right?
This is a unique event.
Let's go off record.
And we're going off the record at 2:21.
生きるリバサイガスの吹き溜まりはまちまったやつほど口が悪いここじゃ成功ってやつ雲隠れ俺たちの未来と空の色はグレー吹き変わる地域のため全速で反映していたのか逃げ出最低変なら書き残すこの目しか見れない経験のな名前だけこの決意に甘えはねえ